Ashan Wonse, we are intention here. Progress is in the hands of the people. Privatization, the issue still lingers. And I'm looking at the news here. A consortium of civil society organizations launched a petition to essentially a petition for a commission of inquiry into the question of privatization. So, I'm reading something here. The inquiry will allow us to learn the extent to which the country lost her wealth as a result of lack of patriotism and white-collar financial criminality during the privatization. The consortium of civil society organizations said the petition hopes to collect 20,000 signatures to be presented to President Lungu on Friday. And Friday in this case, this is as of Sunday the 20th. This is a while ago, but this is a while ago. This has been presented to the president already. So we are talking about a commission of inquiry here going forward. There was a match recently in which President Lungu was seen participating, a demonstration of some sort to demand a commission of inquiry into privatization, and he allowed it when he wouldn't allow a peaceful protest by the youth of Zambia to do the same, demanding something that he did not like, demanding the rights of free expression. So there is some hypocrisy in there. But anyway, let me move ahead to what I wanted to talk about today. So here we are talking about a commission of inquiry, a commission of inquiry into the matter of privatization. So what I want to say is this, and I always want to put things in perspective, kind of contextualize things, so we the citizens can understand really what is what. Okay, so privatization, a question of privatization has been lingering for a long time. I believe a number of inquests into privatizations have been done before. They've been forced inquests, so to speak, but there have been questions asked by governments and everything just swept under the rugs. So here we are again with the commission of inquiry, and the issue becomes, what needs to happen in Zambia? Do I think that privatization, an inquiry into privatization should be done? Absolutely. I really support the idea of an inquiry into the process of privatization in Zambia, because the country, we, the citizens, all of us, Zambians, lost a lot over the privatization. We lost a lot. And so, an inquiry needs to happen, and this inquiry needs to be a serious one. The inquiry into privatization must seek to discover who sold how much, who signed off on how much, and valuations, how did the privatization benefit the country, and who benefited unreasonably from it, and or who frankly stole or took advantage of the situation, of the confusion to rip the country off. And it must be so serious that the government must take whatever measures and to whatever end to reclaim that which belongs to the Zambian people and bring it back, because people have died over that. So You probably have heard one or two so-called leaders talk about it in those terms and stuff like that. But the question becomes now, is this the government to do this inquiry? Can this government undertake this inquiry into privatization? What qualifies this government to undertake such an inquiry into privatization? Are they the ones to do this inquiry? The answer is no. They are not. So, which means this is a joke. It is a joke, and it is a mockery of the people of Zambia. Even before it happens, it is a mockery. It's not going to go anywhere. Because I'll tell you something. When you bring an inquiry into anything for under questions of criminality and things like that, you need to come with clean hands. Your hands must be clean. You can't come to launch an inquiry before for anybody who may have participated or got involved in any acts of criminality that may have seriously disadvantaged the Zambian people, and you come with dirty hands. You cannot. And this government's hands are dirty as they can come. Before you start talking about the inquiry into privatization, let me just say this. This is not supposed to be an inquiry into privatization. This is supposed to be an audit of Zambia, a financial audit of the country. It needs to be expanded. It needs to be a financial audit of the country, of the republic, since 1991 to date. This is supposed to be. And we need a financial audit of what happened, fire tenders that must include fire and everything that the PF government has done has to be included in that. What has been spent on what infrastructure and what really that infrastructure was worth. All those questions must be answered. Because if the spirit of whoever is driving this inquiry is one that is genuine, one that is geared to look out for the Zambian people, then there must never be a question. There can never be a question that a full financial audit is in order. Because you cannot start to meddle around questions of practices of privatization. Privatization took place. It's been a while now. It's been a long time now. It's been over 20 years ago. And we have things that happened like yesterday. We have fire tenders. We have massive amount of debts. We have projects that have cost $1 billion where they are supposed to cost 300 million. All those things, all those are questions that need to be answered. So this must be an audit, a full financial audit of Zambia, because the citizens of Zambia deserve to know the answers, and they deserve to get what they have lost and get it back. Because the citizens of Zambia cannot continue to be overtaxed to carry the burden of the government's mistakes, government's misdeeds on their shoulders. The people of Zambia are tired. The people of Zambia are fatigued. And they will die. They continue to die. They have been dying. And to wake up and say, well, let's do an inquiry into privatization, rings of ulterior motives. Because you cannot, there is no reason that you would only focus on privatization. You have to make this an audit of the country through privatization to debt. You must look into Tayari's, all these COVID-19 millions of dollars. You have to look into how the mines are being run. Where are all the millions of dollars that we should be collecting from the mining industry? Where are they? Why are people dying and we have millions of dollars, coming out of the mining industry? We have wealth in our backyard, and yet no citizen is benefiting from it. Why is that? These are pertinent questions. And for any government or institution that is serious about any inquest into the financial status of the country or the financial history of the country, financial mismanagement or whatever you want to call it, must be serious about taking it taking it all the way. It must be taken all the way, because Zambians deserve no less. Zambians deserve no less. I do not believe that the PF government is the government that would do that. They are not going to. They do not have the capacity. Neither do they have the inclination, unless there's an ulterior motive driving this, and this just does not make any sense that a government that has undertaken partaken in so many misdeeds, so many unexplained things, and so many corrupt practices would have a commission of inquiry into privatization. It doesn't make any sense at all. If this was anything to go before a legitimate court of law, they would say, you're culpable as well. You are just as culpable. If you say privatization, if the motive behind privatization, if the drive, if there's a moral drive behind the inquiry, behind the institution of a commission of inquiry into privatization, that if that motive is moral, then the PF government does not sit on a pedestal of morality. There isn't enough morality to back the PF government into bringing forward inquiry into the malpractices of previous governments or anybody who was in the previous government, to hold anybody accountable for the mismanagement of the country's wealth. They are the leaders of mismanagement of the country's wealth. You could argue that a lot of this country has been sold. A lot of Zambia, a big chunk of Zambia has been sold. Many times, this so much has been done behind closed doors that we don't know how much sovereignty we have left in Zambia. How much of the country is really under the control of China. We don't know. Land been given out and all sorts of things. And citizens struggle and struggle and struggle. They don't get the same treatment. Citizens have become second to foreigners. So this, let me show some of this. Is what they call development here. So, I just played you something interesting here. That's what they call development. And those are Hospitals, there are hospitals, I call them hospital buildings around the country that the PF is taunting as development. The question you must ask yourself is, has this put more money in your pockets? Has this advanced whatever endeavor that you have going? Or have these structures improved the lives of the Zambian people? No. Why? Because these are just buildings. And I want you to understand that, fellow citizens. These are just buildings. If those buildings have nothing in there to save your life, it is a complete waste of money. It is a complete waste of money. Because citizens do not fully understand what development is. They don't understand what development is and what a waste of money is. Somebody's calling for a commission of inquiry. What legitimizes that? What does whoever is calling for this commission of inquiry and the government that's going to institute this commission of inquiry, what have they done to improve your life? And I want you to think about these structures that I just showed you here that are being taunted as development, as building the country and all that stuff. Building the country is not ridiculous structures. Buildings that have nothing in them. If you go into that structure, are you going to get an operation, in one day? If you go there on an emergency, are you going to get an operation? They will send you back to your village and say, come next month. Come next month will come. They will say, come another month. The physician is not here. That is not development. It is a complete waste of money. They could have used those millions of dollars to put more doctors, more equipment, everything that you need to go to a hospital and get what you need when you need it. They could have put all those resources in the existing hospital. It is better to put those things in an existing hospital than to build another hospital without increasing the resources needed on those hospitals, and in fact taking the resources from the existing hospitals, dividing the resources between those buildings. These buildings just look fancy. They look fancy. They look deceptive. You have to look at your life. What value has this added to my life? To many Zambians, this adds zero value. But many of these things are costing 30 million. They're building hospitals for 35 million US dollars. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And those buildings, they are going to have nothing in them. There's not going to be any significant care provided in those buildings. If you have an emergency, are you going to call an ambulance to come and pick you up? Is an ambulance going to come and pick you up and take you to that hospital? And when you get to that hospital, are they going to tend to you and give you what you need and save your life? That's what you need to be thinking about. It is easy for a government, especially in our African society. It is easy. Government dupes us every time. Government dupes their citizens all the time because citizens only see things because citizens have a glamorized or a kind of confused about citizens are very confused because they always look at the West as the model for what they should be. Sure, in many respects, but they only look at the infrastructure. They look at infrastructure as development. That's what citizens, many people in Africa think about. That's their understanding. They look at infrastructure like, wow, these bridges, skyscrapers, and things like that, and they think of that as development. But they do not think about what's in those buildings or what value that infrastructure brings to them as citizens. You can build a bridge and it looks beautiful, but if it does not bring any value to your life, it's useless. First, the value of your life, value must be brought to your quality, to your quality of life. Your quality of life must be improved before some bridge is built that has no economic value to the country. If you build a bridge that has economic value, then it can improve the economy. Then once the economy improves, maybe you can then benefit. You can reap the benefits of that improved economy. Perhaps it can result in a reduction of the taxes that they get out of your paycheck. Right now they get almost 40% of our citizens' income. Almost 40%. That's a lot. It's a lot to get out of a citizen's paycheck. Then wherever you go, you pay 16. Whatever you buy, you pay 16% VAT. I believe the sales tax is 5%. Then wherever you go, you pay toll fees. Here it's double taxation because you pay toll fees, and then you also pay transport levy, fuel levy, dealers levy, and all sorts of levies when you buy fuel. So we need to change the way we think about things. And when a government starts gallivanting and saying, "Wow, we are now on a high horse," they put themselves on a pedestal to say who will be the moral judges of what happened during privatization. You have to think. You have to back up and think carefully. Who is talking? Who is talking? And is he qualified to do such a thing? They have no moral backing to do any such thing. If the new government comes in, when a new government comes in, sure, I would be even more comfortable with the new government coming in. Not completely comfortable because there are elements in there that are a little disturbing. But if the new government came in and embarked on such a venture, on behalf of the people of Zambia, it would be more credible than the current government. The best government that I would ever want to undertake such a process, a complete audit of the country of Zambia, is the UPP. If they made it to the presidency, the UPP would leave no stone unturned. Of that I'm convinced. But definitely, the PF is not the government that can ever do this. This is going to be a charade. It's going to be more waste of money that will be put on your shoulders to carry in form of taxes. That's all there is. That's all there is to it, guys. We need to know by now that the PF government does not understand what service delivery is, what governance is, what a government is there for. They do not understand that. They do not understand that a government is a creation of society. A government is there, belongs to society. They do not understand that. And the sad thing is that many citizens themselves prescribe to that understanding, to that misunderstanding. And so we have a little problem here. And until we change government, somebody else who is more enlightened comes in and who is determined to really educate the citizens about what government is, so that going forward, when people think about government, they can think differently, and that may have an impact in how we choose our leaders, or what kind of things we stand against, or what kind of rights, how we exercise our rights going forward. But we definitely, this commission of inquiry, is going to be a waste of time. The people that are bringing it forward are wrong to bring it forward, because this cannot be undertaken under the PF government. They have no moral backing to do such a thing. They have no moral backing. I can assure that if this goes forward, it is because there is an ulterior motive behind it. Whatever they want to accomplish with it remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. It isn't too much speculation. It isn't too much speculation to say that it has something to do with the upcoming election. That is not too much speculation, given the lengths to which this government is willing to go to justify their continued hold on power. So these are scary times, guys. I just wanted to make that comment. These are scary times. Just a few things to think about. All right. So you can leave me a comment down on this page, or on my Facebook page, and maybe we can have the conversation going. And if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, so you can get involved in the discussions. So as we are Bantu, progress is in the hands of the people. I always like to raise these important questions so you can think about it, because truly progress is in the hands of all the citizens. And it's important that all of us are thinking in the right way, are thinking about things the right way. We look at things the right way, and that's the only way we can, in time, awaken our consciousness to what our government should be doing, and awaken the consciousness of many of our fellow citizens who may not be there yet. So, guys, have a good one.